What if one scene changed everything for the Parkers? For years, this UPN favorite made us laugh, until one moment went too far. Was it too controversial, too risky, or just too real for TV? That single scene shocked the network and left fans stunned. But that's only the beginning. Behind the laughs and "hey" greetings were secrets no one saw coming. From cast disappearances and strange rewrites to hidden celebrity ties and wild production twists. These are 15 weird facts about the Parkers that will make you see the show in a whole new way. The Parkers came to an end in 2004, but behind its success lay a series of creative tensions, on-set challenges, and one scene that changed everything. During its run, the cast and crew followed a unique filming process. Scenes were often pre-shot, especially those involving Monique, who had long expressed discomfort with certain production methods. Over time, those behind-the-scenes issues began to take a toll, ultimately contributing to the show's unexpected cancellation. Television history is full of beloved series that leave their mark, but few endings have sparked as much curiosity and speculation as The Parkers. From its breakout success to the controversial moment that many say led to its downfall, the story of this sitcom is one of laughter, conflict, and mystery. Premiering on August 30th, 1999, The Parkers quickly became one of UPN's biggest hits. The show followed mother-daughter duo Nikki and Kim Parker, who decided to attend college together, a premise that blended family dynamics with campus comedy in a fresh, hilarious way. The series began as a spin-off of Moesha, created by Ralph Farquhar, Sarah V. Finney, and Vita Spears. After seeing how popular Countess Vaughn's character Kim had become, the producers decided she deserved her own spotlight, but with a twist. This time, her mother would be her classmate. Casting Nikki Parker was a challenge. The role required someone funny, outspoken, and deeply lovable. That someone turned out to be Monique, whose bold comedic style and instant chemistry with Vaughn helped make the show a hit. The supporting cast completed the magic. Jenna Von Oy played Kim's sharp-tongued best friend, Stevie Van Lowe, while Ken Lawson brought charm and energy as T. Dorian Wilson starred as Professor Stanley Ogilvy, Nikki's longtime crush, a running joke that became one of the show's trademarks. The series also went through a major early casting change. Originally, Mari Morrow appeared as Nikki's friend Desiree Littlejohn, but producers soon replaced her with Yvette Wilson, reprising her Moesha role as Andel Wilkerson. The change worked. Andel quickly became a fan favorite and one of the emotional anchors of the show. Behind the camera, The Parkers was powered by an experienced team. Executive producers Bill Boulware, Ralph Farquhar, Sarah Finney, Vita Spears, and Andrea Wiley worked under Sarah Finney's Sensity Productions, Regan John Productions, and Big Ticket Television. Together, they shaped a sitcom that balanced outrageous comedy with heartwarming moments of friendship, ambition, and love. The Parkers stood out from the start with a storyline that was both hilarious and heartfelt. It followed Nikki Parker, a woman who had left school years earlier after becoming pregnant with her daughter Kim. Determined to finish what she started, Nikki decided to go back to college, only to end up at the same school as Kim. That setup created endless comedy, from classroom chaos to wild college parties. But beneath the laughs was a touching story about love, second chances, and the unbreakable bond between a mother and daughter. When The Parkers first premiered, critics didn't quite know what to make of it. Some called the humor over the top, but audiences instantly connected. The show quickly became UPN's highest-rated comedy, striking a chord especially with Black viewers. At its peak, it even outperformed The Steve Harvey Show in ratings. Fans saw themselves in the characters, their struggles, their dreams, and their sense of humor. More than just a sitcom, The Parkers became a cultural favorite. The chemistry between Monique and Countess Vaughn was electric, their on-screen relationship both hilarious and deeply genuine. The show balanced outrageous comedy with real-life emotion, whether through Nikki's relentless crush on Professor Ogilvy or Kim's carefree adventures with her best friend Stevie. By its final season, the Parkers had solidified its legacy. When the series ended on May 10, 2004, its finale drew 3.6 million viewers, proving how beloved it had become. But the story didn't end there. Through reruns and syndication, the Parkers continued to thrive, airing on BET, Centric, VH1, Fuse, TV1, and MTV2, and finding new audiences around the world. In Ireland, it aired on RTE2 from 2000 to 2005 in prime time. In the UK, it appeared on Trouble, a network dedicated to black-led sitcoms. It also reached viewers in Australia on Fox 8 and Jamaica on TVJ. Then, in 2020, the show found a whole new generation when it began streaming on Netflix. Its return reminded fans why they loved it, and introduced Nikki and Kim Parker to viewers who weren't even born when it first aired. During its original run, the Parkers became one of UPN's biggest comedy hits. But even after the show ended, its cast and legacy continued to shine. In 2009, fans were treated to a long-awaited surprise, a reunion on The Monique Show. Cast members Countess Vaughn, Jenna Von Oy, Ken Lawson, and Dorian Wilson came together for a special episode titled The Parkers Reunion. Series creator Sarah V. Finney joined the audience to celebrate the show's enduring impact and the joy it brought to viewers. Although Yvette Wilson couldn't attend due to work commitments, her presence was fondly remembered, and fans made sure to express their appreciation for her unforgettable role as Andell Wilkerson. For devoted fans who wanted to relive the series from start to finish, The Parkers, the complete collection, was released on March 18, 2016 in Canada. The 14-disc DVD set included all 5 seasons, 110 episodes in total, allowing audiences to revisit their favorite moments anytime. The series didn't just win hearts, it earned critical acclaim. Monique's performance as Nikki Parker received widespread praise, earning her 3 NAACP Image Awards for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series in 2002, 2004, and 2005. Dorian Wilson was also recognized with a nomination for Outstanding Supporting Actor in 2002, while the show itself received a Young Artist Award in 2003 for Best Performance in a TV Comedy Series by a guest-starring young actor. Monique's portrayal of Nikki, bold, hilarious, and full of heart, became one of television's most iconic comedic roles, inspiring audiences with her confidence and determination. As she once described her talk show on BET, The Monique Show was a party full of love and excitement, and that same spirit was what made the Parkers so beloved. However, the story didn't end there. In April 2023, Monique filed a lawsuit in Los Angeles Superior Court against Paramount and CBS, accusing them of manipulating the show's finances to withhold money owed to her and the show's creators. The complaint alleged that the studio had structured the Parkers' financial records in a way that artificially reduced its profitability, depriving those involved of tens of millions in earnings. Monique's production company, Hicks Media, was contractually entitled to 2.5% of the series' gross adjusted receipts, as the Parkers had surpassed the 100-episode threshold required for profitable syndication. Despite the show's continued success in reruns and streaming, Monique claimed she had never received the full compensation she was promised. The lawsuit reignited discussions about fairness, transparency, and how black-led shows from the early 2000s were handled behind the scenes, proving that even 2 decades later, the Parkers still had stories left to tell, both on and off the screen. Behind the laughter and those unforgettable "hey" greetings, the Parkers hid a world of strange and surprising secrets that even its most loyal fans never knew. The Impossible College Timeline. If you've ever wondered how Kim Parker and her friends managed to stay at Santa Monica College for all 5 seasons of The Parkers, 1999 to 2004, you're not alone, because it's one of TV's most unbelievable academic mysteries. The sitcom was set at a real school, Santa Monica College, a 2-year community college where students typically earn associate degrees or transfer to a 4-year university. Yet somehow, Kim, Nikki, Stevie, and T remained students there for 5 full years, without ever graduating, transferring, or even being kicked out. In real life, even the most indecisive students eventually move on. But on the Parkers, time seemed to stand still. The show often referenced real aspects of college life, from GPA worries to transfer programs, but never explained how its characters stayed stuck in the same academic loop. It's likely that the writers simply chose comedy over realism, keeping the college setting because it worked so well for the story. The result was a kind of academic time warp, a campus where no one ever graduated, but the laughter never stopped. The mysterious Mari Morrow vanishing act. One of the most sudden and unexplained character disappearances in sitcom history happened during the first season of The Parkers. Actress Mari Morrow, who played Nikki's stylish neighbor and best friend Desiree Littlejohn, vanished from the show after only 13 episodes. What made it even stranger was that Morrow had been billed as a main cast member, yet her character disappeared without a single explanation or goodbye episode. Behind the scenes, producers reportedly felt that the chemistry between Monique, as Nikki Parker, and Morrow wasn't clicking the way they hoped. Show creator Ralph Farquhar decided to rework the dynamic, introducing a new best friend who could better match Monique's bold, comedic energy. That's when Yvette Wilson, already beloved as Andell Wilkerson from Moesha, joined the cast. Because The Parkers was a direct spin-off, her transition felt natural, and Andell quickly became an audience favorite. Desiree was never mentioned again, effectively erased from the show's universe. After leaving The Parkers, Mari Morrow continued her acting career with appearances on Family Matters, Baywatch, and other series, before later becoming a licensed real estate agent in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Yvette Wilson's Andell became such a vital part of The Parkers that it's hard to imagine the show without her. The Isabelle Sanford grandmother connection. Television history crossed paths in a memorable way when Isabelle Sanford, forever known as Louise Jefferson from The Jeffersons, appeared on The Parkers as Evelyn Nana Smith, Nikki's recently widowed grandmother. The episode quickly became one of the show's most talked-about moments thanks to its unexpected and awkward subplot. Nana developing a romantic crush on the much younger Professor Ogilvy. Sanford, a trailblazer who made history as the first African-American woman to win an Emmy for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series, was in her 80s at the time and widely respected for her poise and commanding presence on screen. So seeing her play an elderly woman boldly flirting with a man decades younger caught audiences off guard, both hilarious and slightly uncomfortable at the same time. But Sanford dove into the role with complete commitment. The humor came from the generational clash, a grandmother who refused to act her age and a professor struggling to handle her advances. Nancy Wilson's secret family revelation. One of the most emotional storylines in The Parkers came when legendary jazz singer Nancy Wilson guest-starred as Aunt Rita, a character introduced as Nikki's glamorous and fun-loving relative. What began as an ordinary family visit quickly turned into one of the show's most dramatic twists, when it was revealed that Aunt Rita was actually Nikki's biological mother, who had given her up years earlier to chase her dreams of a music career. Wilson wasn't just any guest star. She was a Grammy-winning icon, celebrated since the 1950s for her smooth jazz vocals and sophisticated style. Her appearance on The Parkers marked a rare television acting role for the acclaimed performer, whose fame came primarily from her albums and concert tours, rather than on-screen drama. In the episode, Rita arrives as the adored, worldly aunt everyone loves, until the truth comes out. The people Nikki believed were her parents were actually her aunt and uncle, who had raised her after Rita decided she couldn't give her daughter the stable life she deserved. The revelation reframed their entire relationship, exploring themes of sacrifice, secrecy, and the painful balance between ambition and motherhood. The Blossom Connection. When Jenna Von Oy joined the Parkers as Stevie Van Lowe, Kim's witty and sarcastic best friend, viewers were seeing a remarkable transformation. The comeback of one of the 1990s most recognizable child stars in a completely new light. Before the Parkers, Von Oy was best known for playing Six L'Amour on the hit NBC sitcom Blossom, 1990 to 1995, where she became famous for her lightning-fast dialogue and sharp comedic delivery. Six was a fast-talking, boy-crazy teenager whose humor and energy often stole the show. Transitioning from Six to Stevie was a total reinvention. Stevie Van Lowe was her polar opposite, a smart, no-nonsense college student from a wealthy family, defined by her sophistication, honesty, and strained relationship with her emotionally distant mother. The role allowed Von Oy to show a new side of her talent. She balanced Stevie's dry humor with real emotional depth, especially in storylines that explored her family issues and identity struggles. For fans of Blossom, seeing Six return to TV in such a mature and grounded role was both nostalgic and refreshing, a sign of just how far Von Oy had come. Von Oy. The Unresolved Moesha cliffhanger betrayal. One of television's most frustrating unresolved mysteries came when the Parkers completely ignored the dramatic cliffhanger that ended Moesha's six-season run in 2001, despite public promises from UPN executives and Entertainment Weekly that the spin-off would finally deliver closure. Moesha had ended on a shocking note. In the two-part finale, it was revealed that someone in Moesha's family was pregnant. But before the storyline could be resolved, the show was abruptly canceled due to declining ratings. The finale clearly set up a seventh season, one fans never got to see. When the Parkers premiered shortly afterward, viewers were told that the new show, set in the same universe and created by the same team, would pick up where Moesha left off. But across 5 seasons and 110 episodes, the Parkers never once mentioned the pregnancy or any of the unresolved storylines from its predecessor. Even when Moesha characters like Hakeem Campbell appeared on the Parkers, their storylines completely avoided the cliffhanger that had captivated fans. The omission left audiences disappointed, not only because the mystery was never solved, but because they had been promised it would be. In the end, the Parkers chose to stand on its own as a lighthearted college comedy, steering clear of Moesha's emotional twists. But for longtime fans, it remained one of UPN's greatest unfinished stories, a mystery that would stay unsolved forever. The cross-universe TV connection. In recent years, devoted fans have made an unexpected discovery. The Parkers is part of a larger, hidden television universe that connects it to 3 other beloved black sitcoms: Moesha, Girlfriends, and The Game. Together, these shows form an interconnected world that quietly stretched across more than 2 decades of TV. The connections were subtle, so subtle that most viewers never noticed them when the shows originally aired. But sharp-eyed fans, digging through crossover episodes and shared characters, eventually uncovered an intricate web linking all 4 series. The most obvious connection is that the Parkers spun directly off Moesha, following Kim Parker's journey from high school to college. But the links go far beyond that. During Moesha's final season, and Girlfriends' first, an episode revealed that Maya, from Girlfriends, babysat Dorian's siblings, confirming that both shows existed in the same world. Later, The Game, itself a spin-off of Girlfriends, revealed that Melanie Barnett and Joan Clayton were cousins, tying the stories together even further. Through family relationships, character cameos, and small background references, these 4 shows became part of a single, shared universe, one that evolved naturally over time without most fans realizing it. Even more remarkable is how this continuity survived despite the shows airing on different networks and being produced by different companies. Thanks to creators Ralph Farquhar and Mara Brock-Akil, the connections stayed intact as the series moved from UPN to the CW and BET, creating one of the most enduring and intricately connected universes in Black television history. The real-life studio music legend connection. The sets for the Parkers, from the lively halls of Santa Monica College to the Parker family's cozy apartment, were all built inside Sunset Gower Studios in Hollywood, one of the most storied production sites in the entertainment industry. Long before Nikki and Kim Parker brought laughter to those sound stages, the same walls had reverberated with the music of legends like Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, Frank Zappa, Elton John, and Ringo Starr. Originally opened in 1915 and later owned by Columbia Pictures, Sunset Gower became a creative hub for both film and music. During the 1970s and 1980s, it served as a rehearsal and recording space for some of the world's biggest artists, musicians fine-tuning the tours and albums that would define entire generations. Ironically, those same stages that once hosted rock royalty were later transformed into the world of the Parkers, where Monique and Countess Vaughn filmed hilarious scenes about chasing fame and performing in their fictional band, Freestyle Unity. In a poetic full circle, the show's cast performed sitcom songs in the very rooms where real music history had been made. By the time the Parkers began production in 1999, Sunset Gower had evolved into Hollywood's largest independent studio complex, with 12 sound stages and nearly a century of creative legacy behind it. Countess Vaughn's hidden pregnancy storyline. Behind the scenes of the Parkers, Countess Vaughn faced deeply personal struggles that quietly shaped both the show's production and her own journey as an actress. While audiences saw her as the confident and funny Kim Parker, Vaughn was privately navigating emotional and professional challenges that would leave a lasting impact on her life and career. During Season 5, 2003 to 2004, Vaughn discovered she was pregnant, forcing sudden changes in the show's filming schedule. She was written out of several early episodes while she managed health complications and prepared for motherhood. To explain her absence, writers worked around her storyline, casually mentioning that Kim was away or busy, while Vaughn focused on her recovery and her growing family. Years later, during her appearance on the reality series Hollywood Divas, Vaughn revealed an even more painful chapter from her past. She admitted that during the Parkers' first season in 1999, when the show was still new and her role as Kim was just taking off, she had faced an unexpected pregnancy and made the heartbreaking decision to have an abortion. Vaughn explained that she feared losing the role that had finally made her a star after years of supporting parts. It was a decision born from the pressures of Hollywood, an industry that often demands perfection and sacrifices from women just to survive. The signature "hey" cultural phenomenon. The Parkers introduced one of the most unforgettable greetings in sitcom history, the long, playful, and unmistakable "hey" that quickly grew far beyond the show itself. Delivered with full attitude and flair by Monique, Countess Vaughn, and the rest of the cast, the greeting perfectly captured the show's bold, comedic energy. What started as a fun, character-driven moment soon became a cultural phenomenon, a phrase that fans everywhere began using in their daily lives. The "hey" was more than just a line. It had rhythm, confidence, and joy. Viewers repeated it in classrooms, offices, and parties, mimicking the cast's infectious delivery. Before long, it spread far beyond the Parkers' fan base. Even people who had never seen the show found themselves using it, thanks to its popularity in African American communities and its gradual crossover into mainstream slang. The rise of that single word proved how powerful television could be in shaping everyday culture. What began as a simple greeting became part of how people communicated, a cheerful, sassy emblem of early 2000s pop culture. In the end, the Parkers' signature "hey" wasn't just a catchphrase. It was a mood, a celebration, and a lasting reminder of how one sitcom turned laughter into legacy. Shannon Tweed's surprising casting choice. In one of the most surprising casting decisions in the Parkers' history, producers tapped Shannon Tweed to play Sophia Van Lowe, the wealthy and emotionally detached mother of Stevie, Kim's sharp-tongued best friend. The move shocked many at the time. Tweed was best known as a former Playboy Playmate of the Year, 1982, and a star of countless soft-core erotic thrillers throughout the 1980s and 1990s, hardly the background fans expected for a light-hearted, family-friendly UPN sitcom. But Tweed defied expectations. As Sophia Van Lowe, she delivered a layered performance that blended icy sophistication with subtle vulnerability. Her character, a glamorous woman who showered her daughter with money but not affection, gave viewers a deeper look into Stevie's complicated upbringing. The role demanded both comedic timing and dramatic restraint, a sharp departure from Tweed's earlier work, and she pulled it off effortlessly. Her performance not only added emotional weight to Stevie's storyline, but also showcased the Parkers' willingness to experiment with unexpected casting choices. For Tweed, the role became a quiet reinvention, proof that even a former sex symbol could step into sitcom territory and deliver something smart, nuanced, and refreshingly different. From hidden pregnancies and shocking disappearances to unexpected guest stars and cultural catchphrases, The Parkers was far more complex and far stranger than most fans ever realized. Behind all the laughter and haze were real stories of risk, reinvention, and resilience that made the series a true gem of early 2000s television. Now that you know the wild secrets behind the show, which fact surprised you the most? Was it the cast changes, the hidden connections to Moesha, or the behind-the-scenes drama that almost derailed everything? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into the untold stories of your favorite classic shows.